Good morning. I'm Nicholas DeLeon, and this is the Tucson Daily Brief for February 21st, 2026. Turning to government and policy, Tucson faces $27 M deficit. Mayor and council reject cuts to housing and drug ordinance. As city officials work to close a $27 million shortfall this fiscal year, Tucson's mayor and council reaffirmed their commitment to nonprofit organizations and the city's public drug use prevention initiatives at a Wednesday study session. Chief Financial Officer Anna Rosenberry presented four options generating only $9.1 million in savings, a fraction of the full gap, and recommended against cutting the general fund's share of housing investments. Council members pushed back on proposals to reduce nonprofit contracts and scale back the public drug ordinance. That's according to Arizona Luminaria. Pima County supervisors adopt policy restricting federal immigration enforcement on county property. The Board of Supervisors passed two new policies Tuesday limiting how federal immigration agents can operate on county owned property, including a prohibition on masked law enforcement officers. Supporters called it a meaningful statement of local values. Republican Supervisor Christie called it toothless, noting legal limits on the county's ability to block federal agents. That's according to AZPM/Tucson Agenda. RTA, next election is 1 month away, no tax increase, but major stakes for roads and transit. Tucson area voters will decide in March whether to approve the $2.67 billion Regional Transportation Authority Next Plan, which determines which roads and transit routes get funded in coming years. The measure does not raise taxes, but allocates how existing transportation revenue is spent. Marana and Oro Valley have specific projects, including long-delayed Silver Bell Road and Tangerine Road improvements, riding on the outcome. Oro Valley's Dial-A-Ride service also depends on continued RTA funding. That's according to Tucson Agenda or Tucson Local Media or Explorer News. Governor Hobbs vetoes Republican bills imposing harsher SNAP penalties. Governor Katie Hobbs vetoed a package of bills that would have put stricter penalties on Arizona's food assistance program in response to changes made by the federal One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Hobbs said the Arizona Department of Economic Security has already taken action to improve benefit accuracy, making additional punitive measures unnecessary and harmful to hundreds of thousands of Arizonans who depend on SNAP. That's according to Arizona Mirror. Arizona bill would station immigration officers at polling places. Arizona lawmakers are preparing to introduce legislation that would allow immigration enforcement officers to be present at polling locations, the latest in a series of bills aimed at tightening immigration enforcement in the state. The measure directly affects Tucson area communities with large immigrant populations. That's according to AZPM. Starting with public safety, 88 Crime receives $100 K anonymous donation. Reward in Nancy Guthrie disappearance reaches $102,500. An anonymous donor gave $100,000 to the 88 Crime tip line specifically for the Nancy Guthrie missing persons case, pushing the total reward to $102,500 for information leading to Guthrie's recovery or the arrest and conviction of the person responsible for her disappearance. The FBI is also offering a reward for tips. That's according to AZPM. In education, University of Arizona to build $250 M 19-story dormitory at Speedway and Campbell. The University of Arizona announced plans for a massive new residence hall at one of Tucson's most traveled intersections, a $250 million project that will house more than 200 students. The 19-story tower represents one of the largest capital investments in UA student housing in recent memory. That's according to Arizona Daily Star. UA dismantles cultural housing communities, shifts to interdisciplinary model. A University of Arizona program that placed students from shared cultural backgrounds together in dormitories will no longer center on cultural identity. The university is rebranding the program with an interdisciplinary focus, a change that comes amid broader pressure on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at public universities. That's according to AZPM. In business and development news, Marana rejects data center referendum petitions. The town of Marana has determined that petitions submitted to put a proposed data center project to a public vote do not meet Arizona legal requirements for a referendum. The decision effectively clears the path for the data center to proceed without a direct public vote, despite grassroots opposition that collected signatures over recent weeks. That's according to AZPM, Oro Valley stormwater fees rising in 3-year phased increase. Stormwater utility fees in Oro Valley will increase effective July 1st as part of a phased multi-year rate structure. The increases are intended to fund ongoing infrastructure maintenance and upgrades to the town's stormwater system. That's according to Inside Tucson Business. In community news, Tucson's Catholic Diocese installs new Bishop James Misko. In his first official remarks Friday as the Roman Catholic Diocese of Tucson's new bishop, James Misko recalled his mother teaching him to pray and to love God. The installation ceremony marks a new chapter for one of Tucson's largest faith communities. That's according to Arizona Daily Star. Brandalion Tea and Spirits opens today downtown. A new tea and spirits concept, Brandalion, holds its grand opening today, Saturday, February 21st, at 200 N Cordavez at the Presidio San Agustin del Tucson Museum. The space previously housed Dandelion Cafe and Bakery, which relocated across the street. That's according to Tucson Foodie. And now your Tucson weather forecast. No active watches, warnings, or advisories for Pima County. Today, sunny. High near 72 degrees Fahrenheit. East wind 2 to 6 miles per hour. No precipitation. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low around 45 degrees Fahrenheit. East wind around 7 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Sunday, mostly clear. High near 78 degrees Fahrenheit. East-southeast winds increasing, especially in the upper Gila River Valley and southeastern Cochise County. Looking ahead, a significant warming trend is underway as a ridge builds over the Intermountain West. Temperatures will run 7 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit above normal Sunday and Monday, then climb to 13 to 18 degrees Fahrenheit above normal through the work week. No precipitation is expected. Valley minimum relative humidities of 10 to 20% will elevate fire weather concerns through the week. That's your Tucson Daily Brief for February 21st, 2026. I'm Nicholas De Leon. Have a great day.